Hey guys, happy Wednesday morning. I wanted to come in here and talk to you a little bit today about our topic for today, which is our why. Some of you guys have probably heard this before, especially if you are repeating this group, the whole concept of why this is important to you. It's kind of like the tools of the fitness program or the nutrition program are the how, and the reason that's going to keep you going when you don't feel like it is the why. And a lot of times I'll hear people say, I struggle with motivation, I struggle with staying on track, I struggle with quitting or things just not working. And a lot of times why that happens, in my experience, is because we've lost sight of why we're doing what we're doing. And it's interesting that I'm coming to talk to you about this today because I have been wrestling with my why. I have been battling it, and I feel that what I found in this journey is that we're kind of like an onion. If you've seen Shrek, it's like, makes me laugh, I think of him. Or a parfait, whichever you prefer. But our why, what drives you to be here, as much as you think it's just to lose weight or just to get a grip on your eating or just to feel good in your skin, it's beyond that. And like an onion, God, I believe, pulls us in here with the initial layer, and then he'll peel it away, and you'll have like a season where you'll live that why, and you'll feel it, and it'll sink in, and it'll take root. And then he'll peel another layer. And when the layers are being peeled, it can be uncomfortable. I'm in a season right now where I can feel the layers being peeled. And when you feel the layers being peeled, where you have to ask these questions of what will happen if I don't change? What will my life be like if I keep doing what I'm doing? Where do I want to be in 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year? Why does that scare me a little bit? Why does that excite me? When you start to ask yourself these questions, sometimes we get into this mode of fight or flight. It's too hard. Sometimes we just want to stay in our comfort zone because it's comfortable. And what I have found is when we want to stay in our comfort zone, what God's calling us to do is to lean on him. Even in this journey with food, even with the journey with fitness, even all things. And so layer by layer, as he peels away our why, and he peels away this reason behind, he heals us. So it fuels you, because instead of being addicted to chocolate, you become addicted in a good way, I don't know what other word to use, in pursuing freedom and healing and truth and goodness. And then your belief grows, and you want to hand that on to your family and to those you love. So when I first started a challenge, I had been stuck for a very long time, and I had a terrible fear of food. I thought I could only be happy if the scale said a certain number, or if I fit in a certain size pants. If I wore a pair of pants or a shirt, even if it ran small, and it wasn't my size, it would affect me to think I was a failure. I was so focused on all the imperfections I saw in myself all the time that it paralyzed me, and I really didn't let people in. And I tried lots of different things, quick fixes, Atkins, if keto was popular back then, I would have done that too. I tried Weight Watchers, and I just learned how to binge on carrots and green beans because they were 0 points. I would hide. I was an emotional eater. So I didn't want to be in a challenge group for a long time because it meant that my secrets would be seen, because I knew I couldn't hide them well. But I got to a point one day where I was watching other people, they're friends of mine, on this journey, and they had this like happiness and joy, and they were getting results, and I was stuck. And I thought, well, I could try this out and lose the weight that I've been stuck losing, and then just, go back to my own thing. But what was interesting when I joined that group was I found a safe place to be seen, and I started to realize that I really wanted to just be comfortable with who I was, and I was afraid of that because I'd never been comfortable with who I was. I was 34, and I didn't like myself at all. I had a lot of self-hatred. And so on this journey to lose the last bit of my baby weight, what I discovered was a safe place to be myself. And I can tell you every 30 days I felt like another layer of the onion got peeled, and I'd want to quit, and I'd want to give up, and I'd want to look in all the wrong places for affirmation. But because I had found truth, because I had found truth in that group, because I had found truth in not just, even though I struggled with the number on the scale, I knew there was more. I was willing to keep fighting for it. And then it became about my kids. I wanted to be that happy, peaceful mom for them. And I knew this helped me to do that. So on the days I don't want to work out, or the days I don't want to eat healthy, and the days that I screw up, the reason I come back and I let myself start over is because I don't want them to feel like they are a failure every time they mess up. And I want my marriage to thrive. You know, I want my husband and I to communicate with one another. And part of that means I need to be taking care of myself so that I can be there for him. And then just recently, in the last few years, my mom, who's my best friend, I literally talk to her every single day on the phone, 3 years ago was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and it's been a slow fade, and thankfully it's slowed down. But watching her health decline and knowing that the one thing she didn't do well, in my opinion, growing up, was she would like bend over backwards and loving others, but never loved on herself in a sense of taking care of herself. She was always anxious, always worried. Her anxiety plagued her, and I believe it really killed her brain because she couldn't sleep ever. She was a very happy person, but a worrisome person, kind of like Piglet if you had to picture somebody. And I don't want to be like that. And I noticed that if I don't take care of myself, that's what could happen with my body. And I want that time. And I know my mom is proud of me in the best way she can for making that time. And so I'm coming to you today because that's my other layer. I have another layer that's peeling off now, where my life has been more chaotic, and things feel out of sorts, and I don't feel like plating my food, and I don't feel like drinking all my water. But I know that by discipline, God is calling me to cling to Him right now in this season in a really profound way. And it's hard because that layer is being peeled. But I know once the layer comes off, there's a season of healing and joy that comes in the journey before the next layer. He's very gentle. So I wanted to ask you today to take some time, whether you've done a million challenges or this is your first. There's 3 questions in this post. And start to process this. Where do you want to be in 30 days, 90 days, 60 days? Yes, like, sure, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to finish a fitness program. I want to run a half marathon. I want to run a 5K. Great. But what about, I want to not binge on brownies at night. I want to not be addicted to Diet Coke. This is stuff I used to do. I want to not sneak through the Wendy's drive-thru and the McDonald's drive-thru so I could take the French fries and dip them in the Frosty before my kids saw. I want to read personal development and pray every morning. I want to develop a stronger relationship with other women and not hide anymore. I want to let people see me. Think about those things. And then take some time to think about what would happen if you don't. Not because you want to live in fear, but more because when you see what the opposite is, it can inspire you to dig deep on the days you don't want to. And then know that this is a safe place to share. So I would love for you to share below in a video or type it out, and maybe put a photo up that's going to help you remember what you're fighting for right now. And to know it's layers of an onion. It's going to be in seasons, but I don't fully understand this layer he's peeling away right now, but I'm thankful to be in a safe place with all of you while he does it. And thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me today. This is a powerful tool. It's important that we start to ask questions about it, and we start to share it with others, because what's cool is when you share your why, we can love you better. We already love you, but we can love you better because we can love you where you're at. No one's rejected when they share their why. That's a guaranteed promise. It's a safe place. I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome day. Take care.